Hi guys, so I'm going to do another video on the Football World Cup, but I will be doing it in some time. I thought that I should speak on another issue that has been there in the media and social media, and that has gained a lot of traction. And why it has gained traction, and whatever has happened yesterday, why it has happened, and because of that, we can see a lot of heartburn or a lot of anger amongst the left side of supporters, if I can say, which is more the opposing side of the government. So the government, you can see more, or the BJP, you can see, is more on the right side and right ideology, and then we have got the left ideology, who is very angry, who has been posting on social media, been coming on media and saying how things are going wrong and how things are unfair, and this is a dictator government and all that, which is something they have been saying for years. It's nothing new. And so what is happening also, we can again, it is something that we'll have to go back and see exactly what is happening and why it is happening. So there is nothing new that is happening, to be honest. So this is something that the left, it is their normal modus operandi, where they come up with an issue and they start protesting, which is of course anyone's right in this country to protest. And that protest then shifts from the actual issue, and it starts off going into another direction itself. And basically that end game, if I can say, is to root out this government and to remove Prime Minister Modi from his position, which is again someone's right. There's no harm in that. But the issue is that or the problem is that they don't want to remove him democratically, or they are not able to remove him democratically. That's what their main issue has been. Because as we've been seeing in the central government elections or the state government elections, they have not only been losing, but they have been losing the states that they have as well. So as you saw, the AAP party, they lost in Delhi after having a very strong government. They had won two elections and they were looking quite good, but they lost. Then after that, there was a big surprise in a way, not only for the TMC, but even for the, in a way, for the BJP, that the TMC government lost their election as well. So the BJP has come there as well. So it has led to a big, loss to the left side of the parties who have not been able to compete with the BJP democratically. So they have come back to what they are doing best, that is try and find other ways of trying to topple this government, which is of course their aim. But as we have seen in the past, whether it was the CAA protest or whether it was the farm laws protest, those attempts were made, but in the end, India is a very robust democracy, and if anyone thinks that they can topple the government by doing these, protests, or if we can say protests, then that is eventually not going to happen. So now, if we see what has happened in this particular protest, so first of all, we have to see how it all started. So it started with the CJP coming up with their name. So the way it started is the CGI, the Chief Justice of India, he ended up saying a statement about something about youth being cockroaches and they are unemployed, or whatever was his statement. And then he clarified that it was not for the entire youth, and it was for a section of people who come to the courts and they are youth and they try to put petitions for the sake of putting petitions to run their agenda, is what his clarification was. But till that time, the CJP was formed. This guy Dipke, he was the founder, and he made this Cockroach Janata Party. And eventually then they started getting the traction on social media, and they got so much traction that they ended up getting so many followers, then that more than the BJP. So that was something that the left was very happy about, that they have beaten the BJP when it comes to the social media war that goes on. And post that, you know they have tried things, but unfortunately for them, things have not been working for them like it has done in the past. So if you would have seen the CAA protest or the farm laws protest, what is happening is that whatever the left was doing, it was more of what they were doing. It was their action, and then the right was reacting, the government was reacting, or the BJP was reacting. So they were running the narrative in those protests at that time. So in the CA, the government actually got lucky that the COVID came in. So that is why, the CA protests had to stop. Otherwise, the government was not having too many answers to what was happening in that protest, and they were in the back foot. Let us put it that way. But COVID came, and that protest eventually didn't proceed ahead. Then came the farm laws. Again, the same thing. The left was acting, the government was reacting, and they were able to make the government do things that they wanted. They made them talk to them. They made them started, agreeing to the demands and all those things. And again, the government was in big trouble. And eventually, they had to withdraw the farm bill because of the pressure that was created by the left. So that was again a big loss for the government politically, if we say. But in this protest, things have not gone their way, because this time around, as compared to the previous ones, the government has been more vigilant. The government has been, keeping an eye and taking their steps. So you see from the start itself. So Dipke came to India. He thought he will get arrested, but he didn't. In fact, the government gave him protection. That's Delhi police said that, we are giving you protection because you can get, people can have a go at you, people can be after you because of what the things that you have been saying on social media. So they actually gave him protection rather than arresting him. So they thought they'll get arrested, and they could have, played a victim card that, see, that's what this government is doing just because I'm putting out my views on the education issue that is there in India. Then they thought that by not taking a permission for Jantar Mantar protests, the government will again take action, and then the Delhi police will go after them because they are illegally sitting there, and take action. And the media and the foreign media will show that, look how horrible this government is. They're taking action against students or whatever, youngsters, and this is the kind of government we have. But again, the Delhi police or the Home Ministry in this case was very smart, and they themselves gave them a permission. They're like, there you go, you have a permission, you don't need to apply or anything, and you can do your protests. There's no issue in that. And they did it, but as we saw, that they didn't get the traction that they wanted. There were hardly any people who showed up, and the right got the opportunity to have a go at them, saying that, the reason that so many people didn't show up because your onlines were mainly your bots or your supporters from Pakistan or Turkey or Bangladesh, whichever countries that were there. So majority of the supporters were there. So how would they show up at Jantar Mantar? Because there were hardly people from India who were supporting them on social media. But that was that. And after that, it has not been that great for them. So not too many people have come to the protests. They have tried various ways to get attention, but it has not worked. Then Sonam Wangchuk came into the picture. He came in, he started his hunger strike, but still they did not get any traction. And over the past few days now, suddenly there has been traction. Now we have to think, why is that the case? Is it only because of the hunger strike of Sonam Wangchuk is why this traction has been gained, or is there something else? So one thing that we should know is that the reason things have been happening is because the parliament session is going to be starting, and it is going to start tomorrow on Monday. So what basically these guys want is to create that pressure on the government so that they can end up, removing the education minister. And that is why we have seen, journalists, activists, all these celebrities, some comedian coming and, saying all kinds of things and trying to create a situation and trying to create the pressure on the government to remove the education minister. And that is what their plan is, and that is what their exit strategy is, that, once the education minister gets, removed, then basis that Sonam Wangchuk can break his hunger strike. And of course, the plan was, that in the end, the person behind it, let's be honest, it is the AAP party who is behind this. And Kejriwal would come and, give him whatever, some water or orange juice, and end up, ending this hunger strike that they are doing. And they'll claim victory that, we've ensured that the education minister is removed. That's what we came for. But again, unfortunately for them, the government has been on their toes. And ideally, this is the time of the year where the government does their reshuffles. And as much as we have read or seen the news or whatever we come to know by the through the people we speak who are politically aware or are connected as well with politics, they also said that Dharmendra Pradhan is not going to stay for too long and the government will remove him. But because of what is happening and of what the CJP or the AAP/AAP, because in the end those guys are from AAP, they are ex-AAP people and they have been working together. So because of them, Dharmendra Pradhan has not left. Because of the performance he is given, to be honest with you, he does not deserve to stay as the education minister. That's my honest truth, because what has happened in the UGC regulations, or whether it is the NEET paper leak or is the CBSE, so there are a lot of issues that are there where he has not been able to manage things and he's not been able to perform as the education minister. So he has to leave. It is as simple as that. There has to be some accountability when you are there in that kind of position, and such an important position, because it is to do with the future of all these children and even their parents, and everyone is very very tensed, and it's not a good situation for them to be in. So we have to be empathetic towards him, and the accountability has to be there. So he has to move. It's as simple as that. And if you see the previous education ministers as well, they have also been asked to leave, whether it is Smriti Irani, whether it is Prakash Javadekar, or the last one who was there, which is Pokhriyal, or as they call him, Nishank. He also had to leave the ministry. But the BJP style is they never remove. They never show that, we are removing anyone. They just say that, okay, there's a reshuffle happened and we are just, moving them to another ministry, or we are moving them to some work given in the BJP. That's how their style is. So if those education ministers were removed, then this education minister for sure should be removed for the performance he has been giving. But as I said, because of the CJP, for what they're doing, he's still there. And as much as I know, and I have followed the government and the BJP, they will ensure that he still remains till the parliament session is over. So Dharmendra Pradhan should actually go and thank the CJP, because it is because of them that he stayed put. Otherwise, he would have lost his job long time back. So now, so basically what has happened now yesterday is that Sonam Wangchuk was taken by the Delhi police to the hospital. So of course, on the left side, they started off saying, oh, look at this, they have forcefully done this, they have abused him, they have beaten him up, that has happened. But what has actually happened is, again, the government, as I told you, this time around is been on their toes as compared to the previous two protests. There was a petition filed at the Delhi High Court that Sonam Wangchuk's health is not good, so he should get medical attention. Otherwise, his life is in danger, because if he does not take care of his health. So that High Court decision did come, and they gave the permission that you can basically take him to the hospital and give him the medical treatment that he should get. So that is what the government did. So they went through the legal route, because if they wouldn't have gone and done it directly, then of course, rightfully, it would have been an illegal way of, taking someone to a hospital without their permission. But this time around, they did take the permission from the courts, and in the end, whatever the court decides, that is the final order, and that's what the government, followed, and they were smart, and they again, politically, if we see, countered the left that thought that they would in this time around catch the government on the back foot. But the government has been on their toes, and they have been taking the decisions that are making them uncomfortable, and that's what that made them angry. And you saw the media and social media, they're all over, and they're completely lost their mind that what is happening, and look what is happening. But the thing that is happening is that the government is not letting them do what they want to do. And whether it is removing the education minister, or whether it is letting Sonam Wangchuk continue with the hunger strike, because the strategy of the left is to ensure that we are able to do an Anna Hazare Part 2, basically, where Sonam Wangchuk will be the main Bakra, if I can say in this way. And Dipke can do a Kejriwal, and then they can launch themselves and be the actual opposition to the government. So but unfortunately for them, that is not happening. They are not able to find a proper exit strategy. First, they thought the education minister will go. That has not happened. Then they thought due to the hunger strike of Sonam Wangchuk, they will be able to remove the education minister and and corner the government. That has not happened. Now Sonam Wangchuk is taken care in the hospital, and Dipke has now decided to go on a hunger strike, which is going to be very difficult for him because, as we have seen, that he loves his food and his bread pakotas and his samosas and whatever he was eating. So now he has to go to the hunger strike. So let's see how long that then he lasts. And yeah, on the government side, they have the strategy in place, and they know what is happening. So they are very well aware that this is a tactic to put the pressure on them externally through these guys. So these guys will now try to go and march towards the parliament to create that pressure, and internally the opposition will do the same. They will come and they will block the parliament and say we want Dharmendra Pradhan to be resigning, and all those things will happen. But yeah, so let's see what the government has up their sleeve. But till now, whatever they have been doing, they have been making their moves, and at the moment, the right has been getting the better of the left. But they have to be attentive and see that how they can counter this or manage the situation that we have. And few last things is that, see, of course, one thing we clearly saw that there is always this attempt to try and say that this is not a political protest. This is a political protest. It has always been a political protest. But I don't see why they try and portray that this is nothing to do with politics, because in the end you are a party, right? You have registered a party called CJP. So I don't see anything wrong in it being a political protest. But that's the left for you. They always say, oh, we are not political. We are just journalists. We are just activists. We are just celebrities. But in the end, they are politically left inclined. There is no doubt in that. And the people are seeing, so the people know that what is happening. So it is a political protest. There are political parties who came, whether it's the SP, whether it's the AAP party, which, as I said, is the main guys behind this entire protest, like they were in CA, like they were in farm laws. And they are doing what they're doing. They're trying to revive themselves as well. They had a big hit. Kejriwal especially had a big blow in the Delhi elections. So he wants to revive and become the main opposition party as well, because the Congress has not been doing that well. As we are seeing state by state, the Congress is not performing that well. It was just in Kerala that they won, which is anyways one of their strongholds. But nationally speaking, we need an opposition party. So Kejriwal feels that he is the one who will be doing, and this is how he's trying to do it. Well, that's his style. I don't see any issues in that till the time no law and order has been taken into hand, or any anti-national activity has taken place. If you want to protest, you can protest, and the same goes for Sonam Wangchuk. There have been talks about whatever he's done against national interest, this and that. And there is a certain portrayal that has been given about Sonam Wangchuk, that he is a scientist and he has got something that was shown in 3 Idiots. But the fact is that he is not the Sonam Wangchuk of 3 Idiots. The real Sonam Wangchuk is that his father is ex-Congress MLA. He was an MLA in Leh, and he worked in the cabinet ministry as well for Jammu Kashmir government back then. So he's not from any poor family or anything as such. He's from a decent family, and he is from a Congress family. I don't see any problem with that. The problem is that you try to portray this guy as he's some scientist and he's done this, he's done that. But that's not the case. He's from a political family. He's worked in the education space. He's been an engineer. He's a climate activist. But I don't see what's the issue. Even if he's a Congress family guy, he still has the right to protest. And till the time, as I told you, if someone is not taking the law and order in their hands, they can protest as much as they want. It's their right. And so that's the way things are. So let's see what happens. As I told you, the Aam Aadmi Party is hoping that an Anna Hazare 2.0 happens, where they are able to do to Sonam Wangchuk what they did to Anna Hazare. But we should remember that Sonam Wangchuk is not Anna Hazare. I feel he is much smarter, and he also understands things because he has been around for quite some time. And he has voiced his opinion. He's voiced his different opinion when he once said that, I'm on a hunger strike and you guys have been eating every day. And they should have some kind of empathy towards me rather than doing this. And even previously, when they kept on spreading that, oh, something will happen to them, something will happen to me, he said that, nothing is happening to me. I'm completely fine. My parameters are fine. But yeah, of course, when you have an hunger strike, you have dehydration, you end up losing weight, and all those things are there. So he's a smart person as well. So it won't be that easy for Kejriwal and company to do to him uh, what they did to Anna Hazare. But let's see what happens. It's in the end, it's a chess game, it's a political game. So let's not kid ourselves to try and say that, oh, there are these innocent students who have been done this. The students are not even the focal point for these people. The students are there in the sidelines. They are voicing their opinions, but honestly speaking, no one is hearing them. And I hope that the government hears them and the government looks at their issues rather than the same old left gang that has come in and hijacked things as they did in CA, as they did in farm laws. Same Yogendra Yadav, the same Swara Bhaskar, or the same Arundhati Roy, we know what they really are. But the students are the ones who end up in these political fights. They end up in losing. So I hope the government looks after them, listens to them, and addresses the concerns that are there, which are genuine concerns, whether it is NEET, whether it is CBSE, or any other issues that are concerning the education sector. And yeah, so let's hope things get better. Now the parliament session will start tomorrow, and we know it's going to be a stormy session, the monsoon session. So let's see how the government is going to play this one in parliament, and how the opposition is going to basically react. And yeah, it won't be on predictable lines according to me, where the opposition will block and ask for the resignation. The government will stay put and tell them that nothing doing from our side. We have taken the action that was supposed to be taken in these education issues. I would like to see a debate in the parliament on education, because that is important. That is the issue, and not this CJP, BJP, right versus left fight that is going on. I hope there is a debate on the education, and what are the I hope the opposition comes up and tells what are the issues that are there, what are the improvements that the government has to do, and criticize the government wherever they have to criticize, because that's how parliament should function. And the government also should answer the opposition rather than trying to deflect and say, what did you do in your time, and this is politically motivated. They should genuinely come and answer the questions that the opposition puts. So I hope there's a debate on education, because it is an important issue for this country, and of course for our students. So yeah, let's hope for the best, and let's keep seeing what is happening in this space. But the government needs to keep an eye on this, as they have been keeping, because we know what had happened in CA, we know what had happened in farm laws, that that there will be an attempt to create fear, there will be an attempt to end up doing violence. So the government has to keep an eye. And yeah, so let's hope for the best. And yeah, that's about it from my side. So in some time, once I'm done with lunch, I will then speak on the World Cup and the World Cup finals that is coming up. So look forward to seeing you guys again. Okay, bye bye.